Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Friday, the 8th of April. And they are as follows. This is going to be a very quick video today, but first of all, the golfers have just teed off. It's 7:41 in the UK, PM. And Billy Horschel is now 2 under through 2. Good start. Just one off the lead at the moment. And the others are still to tee off. So, yeah, fingers crossed we've got a shout for the weekend. And don't forget, if you doubled up those selections, all you're shouting for is you're shouting for one of the Grand National selections or four of the Grand National selections to come in the top six. Then hopefully you should have a right shout come Sunday evening if our golfers make the cut. Anyway, fingers crossed. Let's get on to horse racing selections for Friday the 8th of April, and they are as follows. So once again, it'll be a 25 pence each way, lucky 31, and £1 each way on each selection. Total bet coming to £25.20. That's a little bit more than normal. I said I was lowering the stakes, but because it's Aintree, I've chose 5 races and 25 pence each way, lucky 31, and £1 each way on each. So anyway, let's get into this. Tronador in the 145 at Aintree, a 7 out of 10 chance, priced up at 12 to 1, 6 places. This horse's reappearance, I wouldn't call it disappointing. I would call it never involved at Cheltenham. It was one of the hold-up horses when it was very deep ground. And in that particular race, and a lot of the races on that day, none of the horses came from behind. And this is also true for this horse. So basically, it was a hard workout. This horse has it's won on the card at this meeting in the past. And I think it's got a cracking chance in 6 places, 12 to 1. I don't see why it can't come in the first 6. And especially, it made me wonder just how many Gordon Elliott horses could have actually ran in this race instead of Tronador. But he only puts 1 in the race, and it's done nothing this season, so it's very interesting. His horses on Thursday ran pretty well. There was a faller at the last, but they were still running on for a place. That's Zanayir. The second selection is Vina Ardanza in the 220 at Aintree, a 6.5 out of 10 chance, priced up at 16 to 1. Sky Bet are paying 3 places. Well, basically, I think at least one of the first 3 in the betting could not run. Well, sorry, if one of the first 3 in the betting doesn't run up to par, I do think this horse could be close to nicking a place. I'm not really expecting it to win, but what I have noticed is this horse travels very well in its races. Well, this flat course should help it. And I think it could be travelling into the... I think it would challenge him with 2 to go and could well sneak a place. Who knows? It could win. The third selection is Mr. Fisher in the 330 at Aintree. A 7.5 out of 10 chance, priced up at 10 to 1 and 4 places. Well, I know that Nicky Henderson really likes this horse. And I think if he can get to the front and a comfortable lead, I think it'll be very hard to peg back. I don't think it's really ever achieved its full potential. And I think the ground at Aintree, it's not as bad as I thought it might have been. It's only like good to soft. I think the rain's pretty much gone now, although they did forecast it, but it seems like it's cleared up a bit. I think it could run well. And this is another Nicky Henderson horse, Janica, in the 4 at Aintree, a 7.5 out of 10 chance, priced up at... This isn't 5 to 1, sorry, I seem to have made an error there. 1 second, and I shall tell you the real price of Janica. Right, 1 second. Janica is 18 to 1. Sorry, it wasn't 5 to 1. I'll correct that. So, Janica in the 4 at Aintree, a 7.5 out of 10 chance, priced up at 18 to 1, and it's 8 places. The biggest draw for me is this horse came 4th in this race 2 years ago. It's not the horse it was, but it seems to run one decent race every year. Well, all right, it's ran okay once this year after 2 runs. It's now got blinkers on, just to G up a bit. Darryl Jacobs back on board. The horse has completed before round here, so hopefully it can again. And I think 18 to 1 on a horse that has run over this course and distance, where many of them in this race haven't, and they're paying 8 places. Don't forget, I actually gave a horse today. Sorry, when I say today, I mean Thursday. It was called Cousin Pascal. I'm sure you might have seen the horse. I just think they've got a few pounds in hand when they've actually ran over the course in the past. Doesn't mean they're going to complete again, but I think it's a tick in the right box. Anyway, and finally, Albert's back in the 5:15 Aintree, a 6.5 out of 10 chance, priced up at 20 to 1, 6 places. An Easterby horse with Jack Tudor on board. Well, Jack Tudor's been, I say, a little bit in the headlines. He's been in some really big races recently. He came second in the Scottish Grand National, and he's been riding some decent horse for Christian Williams. Well, you can see a lot of the jockeys in this race will be a little bit nerved by this because it's a conditional and amateur jockey race. Well, this guy is one of the most experienced. Well, I looked at Albert's back, and it's ran recently at Wetherby on heavy ground. It can handle heavy ground, but I think it will prefer the slightly better ground. And I do think it's got a turn of foot. And Jack Tudor will be able to produce this horse with a couple to run. And I think it's got a cracking chance once again. 6 places. It'll be sniffing round the place chance. It could even win. Anyway, fingers crossed for tomorrow. It's one of them bets where I think every single horse has got a cracking chance. You just need that bit of luck for a place. Anyway, fingers crossed for the golf. Fingers crossed for the Friday selections at Aintree. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out.